Last episode's loss against Texas, I think, cost us Peter Awosika here. We're right next to Notre Dame, but still have not passed them after the visit week, which to me just means he's not going to come. We'll try one more week. You know, we did make some ground on Notre Dame. Again, I think a lot of that is due to the visit, but maybe we pass them next week. That's maybe being a little bit too optimistic here, but you know, if we go into the visit, it was a good visit. We had the check mark on academic prestige, but the blowout with the 50% penalty on the loss as well just makes it a 5-star visit overall. We probably needed more than that. Another thing I'm going to do to maybe game the system here in the recruiting is I'm going to try to find a quarterback already in their top 5, solely for the purpose of bringing him in on a visit to boost complimentary for Raphael Hakeem. Like Awosika, it's a very big battle with him, and I think the complimentary boost could be the difference in that South Carolina visit that's coming up right after this Auburn game on the road. This is the first time we've simulated one of our SEC games, but I think this visit week we've got coming up is a little bit more important than this Auburn game, and Vanderbilt's been really competitive in this one, but ultimately Auburn comes out on top 26-21 in favor of the home team in this one. Honestly, playing that close on the road is, I think, a very good sign. We've been kind of getting blown out by our SEC opponents so far this season, so I like just showing some increased fight in a hostile environment. Hopefully that leads to some additional momentum, maybe some additional confidence going into this next week. I think, you know, we were at an all-time low after the Texas week. It was an important visit week, and we just got absolutely blown out of the water. So weird to say it during a loss, but I think this might actually be a little bit of a confidence boost heading into next week as we here look at the player stats. Gonna need a good game from Nate Johnson. Let's see if we can get it. If there was ever a week to get our first conference win here of the 2024 season, it's here against South Carolina, who sits at 2-6 on the season. We're at home, and we desperately need to impress Raphael Hakeem here. Texas just made a ton of ground last week. LSU has him in for a visit scheduled already. We've got him in this week. We have a complimentary visit with a quarterback that we're not even trying to scout. You're only getting him in to get a boost for Hakeem here, and if we lose, we might lose out on this player. We just had this happen with Awosika, who we've officially pulled out of the race for. He's committing to Notre Dame next week. Losing that visit to Texas might have cost us this player. Don't want to see it happen for the second consecutive episode. I can't see it happen for the second consecutive episode. I'd lose my mind if we lost out on our second really good deep threat 4-star prospect and our third prospect that we put a ton of effort into overall. Elsewhere in our recruiting, we're getting some hard sells with a lot of these players as they are in their top 5. We have a week 12 a bye week visit with Zadalis, as well as a week 14 visit against Tennessee, which is being boosted by also bringing in DJ Hajulehu. Got some other close battles here with a couple of 3-stars, Wicks and Wadley, continuing to put 50 points there, and they'll be in their top 5, I would assume, next week, so we can start to hard sell them as well. Also had to increase the amount we're putting into Connor Duck because Missouri has entered the conversation here, so we're starting to hard sell. We have a really good match on our hard sell with him, 3 A+, so I think we'll be able to beat out Missouri despite the fact that they have a visit and we can't offer a visit. anymore because he already has a visit scheduled with Missouri. So I think because, again, that hard sell is just so incredibly good, with Duck, we'll still win out and hopefully get him to commit prior to his visit. And again, saw that we've started to get some recruits on the board. Let's got the guys that we just got at the end of last episode. Let's bring them down here to the list of guys we've had recruited already. And looking good so far. We've already got 5 4-stars and a 3-star to recruit, and I think we got a lot more coming up in the next few weeks. We really got to beat South Carolina, so let's get into it. We have a chance to redeem ourselves for the embarrassment that was last episode. Got to take advantage of that opportunity here. Easiest opponent in our conference coming up next. A recruit I really, really want on the visit. South Carolina's only 2-6. They do have a SEC win, which is something that we do not have. All 4 of our wins came in our 4 out-of-conference games so far, but we'll ignore that. We do have 2 more wins than these guys. We should be able to get this one right. Good start to the defense, holding that jet touch pass to no gain. South Carolina does have a freshman starting at quarterback as well. Hopefully that's something we can take advantage of, but I'm not going to be able to do that if they can run with that kind of efficiency going forward. A massive gain. All the way past the 40 just like that. I mean, there was not a defender anywhere close to touching him before he got that first down and more. Fake the give to him here. Sellers has a gain of 9. And this is a quarterback we'll probably see for at least the next couple seasons. I don't know if we'll be playing South Carolina every year by any means, with the SEC now expanded as it is. But with him starting as a freshman, he's got a long road ahead of him with the Gamecocks here. Fake the give, and that running back took a massive shot. Sellers trying to scramble here. He gains 2. I mean, if that running back didn't just sacrifice himself, that was going to be a big-time sack. Something that we haven't seen enough of, it feels like, from this defense this year. Got some exciting recruits on the defensive line coming, though, so hopefully that will be fixed in the near future. But in the meantime, South Carolina with a very strong opening drive here. Just taking what the defense is giving them, running, gaining solid yards every time, and taking the checkdowns. It's got them here in the fringe red zone area. Sellers has a man on the outside. It's a first down and more. Down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Not a great showing from the defense so far. And they'll cap it off with a touchdown. Way too easy running the ball there, especially. A lot of runs that were for well over 10 yards. And honestly, that touchdown run probably would have been another one if they weren't just 2 yards away from the end zone with the blocking that was shaping up. One thing worth noting is I have technically implemented a custom playbook for this offense now. It's very bare bones. I haven't done too much to it. The only thing I've really done so far is remove all the runs from 2nd and long. We'll no longer be running on 2nd and long, which will be nice. And I've also added a little bit of the read option into our game plan. Didn't add or remove really any plays, just kind of moved around the game plan. We'll be looking to do a much more detailed custom playbook in the near future, but after that Texas game, I had to get some changes onto this playbook. I couldn't stand it anymore, and hopefully we'll see some impact on it here in this offensive performance. I also added a few more passing concepts on like third down and stuff like that. 2nd and 10, Johnson's taken off for a first down. Out near midfield. So far, so good on the playbook. We did get an injury to Quincy Skinner, which is really unfortunate. There you see the read option there. It doesn't work in that instance, but I'd like to see us utilize it more with Johnson's threat with his legs. Here. Another run. I don't know how that happened. We shouldn't be running on 2nd and long. Maybe I missed one or something. Who knows? Johnson has a man. That's a first down to Wiley. Alexander in the backfield. Tight formation here for Vanderbilt. Play action. Johnson has Skinner in stride, and he's inside the 10 after breaking a tackle. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this drive. So far, the custom playbook's looking pretty nice here. Empty formation for Johnson. To the corner, and it's caught. Junior Sherrill right at the goal line. Another touchdown for the sophomore receiver. He's been a machine here in the red zone. Somebody that Nate Johnson trusts in this area of the field all season long, and he adds to his touchdown total here. Crisp routes. I mean, there was not a defender in sight for parts of that highlight. So both offenses with very strong opening drives. We'll see which defense decides to show up and play an impact first. Second and 10. Gamecocks changing something up here at the line. Decided to check to a run and tripped up there. Looked like a massive hole, but that slowed him down just enough for the defense to rally and bring up a 3rd and 5. Sellers back to pass. Has a man over the middle. It's his tight ends. First down and more with the run after the catch. From the 33-yard line now. Sellers making a check here. And a little trickeration, a flip back to the tight end, but the defense stayed home. South Carolina thought they had something there, but good discipline on the defense forces a loss in 5, and they're going to the run. Like I said, pretty much every single playbook runs way too much on 2nd and long. It's really a playbook tuning thing that this game needs to take care of in one of its future patches. Because they ran on 2nd and long, I brought up 3rd and long, and the defense gets the stop. There you have it. Johnson just absolutely smashed while he was throwing there, so it's incomplete. Clean pocket and throws a nice ball to Sherrill, but he can't bring it in. So just like that, it's 3rd and 10. We're going empty. Makes us susceptible to the blitz, but if they don't blitz, we should have lots of routes, and we find one downfield for the first down. So number 45, he's one of the players who I haven't quite figured out his name yet, unfortunately. Not super involved in this offense usually, only when there's an injury, like we have to Quincy Skinner right now. Johnson steps up and finds a hole in the middle of the pocket, gains 9 on it. Already seen him use his legs a little bit more than usual, although on 2 of the occasions they were on called pass plays. They're going to say Young didn't get the first down there. I thought he did, and look at that. He absolutely got the first down. There's literally only a red line. You can't even see the blue. Just a tiny bit you could, but no matter. We pick up the first down anyway in the air with Micah Bell. Fake the give to Alexander. Johnson into the flat for a very minimal gain. Should be the final play of the first quarter probably here, and it's going to be another first down pickup for Micah Bell. Offense rushes to the line. We might get one more snap off here. And we will. Play action. Roll out. And we're going to the flats again. This time it's going to work a whole lot better. Catch and run yardage for Spence. We'll get him the first down, and that's how we end the first quarter. I'm liking the way this offense is looking. Very crisp. Into the red zone now. Micah Bell in motion. Jet touch pass to him. He cuts upfield, and a beautiful block by Junior Sherrill springs him for the touchdown. Get this guy the ball in space and see what he can do. Elite speed. Found the crease in the defense and exploded upfield for the second touchdown of this game. An awesome start for the offense. The best start offensively we've had since at least the Virginia Tech game all the way back in episode 2. Our opening game of the season. Almost had a defensive lineman not able to get through the offensive line there. But South Carolina ended up running right at that defensive lineman and got good success out of it. Fresh set of downs for the Gamecocks. Another give here. Stopped up for a gain of 3. Sellers gives off once more, and the run game has been strong for South Carolina. Going to it early and often. And for good reason. Vanderbilt's had a really tough time shedding blocks and filling these run gaps here. One more run. Gains 7. Sellers into the flat. Has a man for a first down in Vanderbilt territory for the second consecutive drive. We've got a linebacker way out wide in the formation, and he gets attacked. That was pretty predictable. Forgot to press A. So we got a second of a dark screen there. There's also been some comments about my videos being a little bit darker than some others. I'm not sure how that is. I don't really touch anything light-wise on my videos, but maybe everybody else does, and that's why my videos are darker. So I'm going to take a look into it. But let me know if anyone else notices this and thinks my videos need to be a little bit brighter. I haven't really had anybody comment about it until the last episode of this series, so I was surprised to hear it, but I'm certainly not going to say for sure that it's not the case. First and goal for South Carolina, marching down the field much like they did in their first drive. But this defense has shown to be pretty stout in the red zone oftentimes this season. Can we hold them to a field goal here, or even better, a turnover? And a turnover is what we get! Into the end zone, and the interception's going to be returned past the 50. Breaking tackles, can he go all the way? No, he can't. What a great job breaking tackles all the way down to the 28. A 70-yard return, 70 plus. On the interception puts us instantly in scoring range, and the crowd loves it. Not a packed stadium by any means. This team's on a bit of a losing streak, so I can't blame people not filling up the stadium here, but so far so good in this game, and Young has a big hole all the way down to the 2. Right after the turnover. A lot of momentum is in Vanderbilt's favor here. Johnson on first and goal. Tries to find a man in the corner of the end zone, and it won't be caught in bounds. I thought there was a chance there, but they'll say he had his foot out. We're going Wildcats. Never seen this season yet. It's a flip to Young, and he's stopped up at the 3. Fun little trick play attempt there, but it didn't work out for us. Stowers in motion. Another give here, and on 3 straight runs, we end up losing 2 yards altogether. Not a great goal line attempt there, so Vanderbilt will settle for the chip shot field goal. An excellent RPO here to start the drive by South Carolina. Has him out to the 44-yard line in an instant. Caught the defense in a bad look against that RPO, and it worked out wonderfully on the bubble screen. Play action, and Sellers is going down. An instant pressure screaming off the edge by Capers there. Is a loss of 6. I got to see that one again. He came off the edge in a hurry, the senior. Offensive lineman tried to throw a last-second block, but Capers was too quick. Talked about not seeing enough sacks out of this defense so far this year. That was a nice one there. Sellers on 2nd and 16. That's why you throw on 2nd and long, because now 3rd and 6, very gettable here. Under 3 minutes left in the half. And South Carolina will get the conversion. On 3rd and medium. Into Vanderbilt territory for the 3rd time so far in this half. In their 4 drives. The give to the back is for a gain of just 3. Starting to see a little bit better run defense here as we go along. Holding him to more reasonable gains. Sellers tries to set up a play in the flats. Gets hit while throwing. Still a solid pickup, though, to bring up 3rd and shorts after the 2-minute warning. South Carolina is ready to go here. On the 34-yard line, Sellers has a man. It's caught for a 1st down conversion. Out of the slot. Quick read. Under center. Going for the big play there to Nick Harbor. Somebody who I haven't seen involved as much as I thought I might here for this South Carolina team. He's probably the most overpowered player in the game. But it hasn't been the case so far here in the CPU versus CPU format. It's 3rd and 10. Sellers tries to find something, but he's going to go down for the sack. A timeout by Vanderbilt. It looks like we're not ready to be done with this half quite yet. South Carolina trying to make it a 1-score game here with the field goal first, and it is up and in for 3. Johnson has a man underneath to start this drive, and Micah Bell catch and run up to the 40-yard line. Skinner comes back in after being injured, but instantly gets injured again. Maybe should have let him stew on the bench. Faking the halfback draw here. Short gain. But able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. It's 2nd and 6 now. Another fake halfback draw. Just the same play. Different result, though. We've got a man deep over the middle for a 1st down and more in scoring range. This offense continues to look very sharp here in front of their hometown fans. You got to imagine Raphael Hakeem, our 4-star wide receiver visit, is liking what he's seeing from this offense so far. Maybe not that particular play, as Alexander couldn't hold on to it. We're under a minute left. 3rd and 3. Johnson. He's going downfield, and it looks like there's a flag on the play. I think it was caught anyway. It will be pass interference. Should just decline that, though, as that was a nice catch downfield. 1st and goal from the 9. Johnson has a man. Junior Sherrill into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game. That was a pretty tight window, but Johnson hit him right on the money. And Vanderbilt able to extend their lead to 2 touchdowns here. A 24-point half for this offense. Moved the ball methodically down the field every single time we got the ball. Just excellent offensive stuff. And this was only with very minor tweaks to the playbook to kind of take out some of the terrible stuff. There's Nick Harbor making his first impact here on the game. And now South Carolina's the one who's looking to not be done here in the first half. Down the sideline. Oh, and he underthrew Nick Harbor. That was going to be a house call. I shouldn't have even spoken his name. This guy, 99 speed and acceleration at 6'5", is an absolute animal. Tough to keep him contained. And in this drive, he's already set up South Carolina to score. Probably didn't want that short gain of 4, though, as the clock will run. Down to 20 seconds remain. Caught at the goal line. Down to the 1 by Nick Harbor again. It's been all number 8 for South Carolina. Down to the goal line. And South Carolina's trying to make this a 1-score game again. This one incomplete. Fontenette in coverage here. 2nd and goal from really the quarter-yard line rather than the 1. And it's picked off again. This time it's by Langston Patterson. Takes it out to the 25, but for the second time this half, the defense makes a massive play in the red zone. I mean, that's the difference in this game. Both offenses have really moved the ball at will. But the Vanderbilt offense has been able to finish off these drives. Meanwhile, South Carolina has thrown 2 red zone interceptions. Usually it's the other way around where, as Vanderbilt, we're saying, oh, a couple of mistakes that we avoid and we're right in this game. Now we're forcing those mistakes and thus have the lead. We have an excellent opportunity here to get our first conference win of the series. Just have to finish this game out in the second half. I'm very confident with how our offense performed, though, that we should be able to get that done. Johnson, we like running this play. And if we get it to Spence early enough, he can cut it upfield, but sometimes we don't get it to him early enough. Johnson over 3,000 yards on the season. He gets a ton of opportunities to throw the ball, that's for sure, in this offense. We are a very pass-heavy offense. And it's not entirely by design. That might be something that we look to tweak a little bit. I don't mind being mostly pass-heavy, but I would like to eventually run the ball a bit. Maybe once we get a better offensive line, though. Johnson scrambles, sets us up for 3rd and 3 here. Empty formation on the field. Johnson. Underneath, it is broken up. Not the start we wanted offensively. Punt wasn't spectacular either, so South Carolina starts at the 45-yard line. And a big carry to start the drive as well. They are instantly in Vanderbilt territory. From their 45-yard line to the Vanderbilt 40. Give again. This one's much better defense. Catwin on the stop. Fake the touch pass. Give to the back for the 3rd straight time, and it'll bring up 3rd and 8. Can the defense get a stop here? This would be probably outside of field goal range here. Sellers instead has a man over the middle, and it's a catch and run all the way into the end zone. South Carolina strikes first in the second half. It's 24-17. Brown just beat Fontenette on the route and then beat him all the way to the end zone as well. Looked like man-to-man coverage here. Jared Brown just a ton of separation on that play and turned it into 6 points. So the offense, can we come back out and retake that 2-score lead here? Once again, going to the flats to our tight ends here. We get an offensive line injury. That's not great. Our arena already isn't the best, although they've had a really good game today, I'd say. I haven't seen much of Johnson be pressured. And when we've actually decided to run the ball a little bit, it usually works. Right back to Stowers in the flat, and it's a first down. Might reduce our throwing to the tight ends in the flat just a little bit when I fully customize our playbook as we go to it again. Third straight play. This time it's Spence, though. I mean, again, sometimes we only gain one, but for the most time, there's solid chunk gains. Fourth straight play going to the tight ends in the flats. 3rd and 6 now. Johnson has a clean pocket, throws downfield, and what a throw it was. Hauled in by Wiley for a first down at the 38-yard line. Johnson to give to Young. He breaks a tackle and has a first down and more. Started to see a little bit more of Young than Alexander in this game. I just like what we've seen from Young in his attempts. Johnson nearly got sacked, instead turns it into a 5-yard gain. He's scrambling a lot here in this game. Something I thought we'd see more often throughout the season. Just hasn't been the case. Giving it to a fullback or tight end there. I think it's a tight end. Interesting strategy. Picks up 2. Young gets some blocking, and they're going to give him the first down. That was very close. Another methodical drive here from the offense. Alexander will lose 1 as he checks in for Young, and we instantly bring Young right back into the game. Don't think that was Alexander's fault, though. Didn't have much room to run on that attempt, and also going to get Young swallowed up for a minimal loss. Another second and a long run. Brings up 3rd and 8. Johnson, he's going to take off and get the first down. Takes a hit to do it. Sacrificing his body for the team here. 1st and goal from the 5. 2 tight ends in the formation. The give to Young. He crosses the goal line. Vanderbilt responds with a touchdown of their own. Very methodical drive. Throwing underneath. Running the ball. And Mykylin Young caps it off with the touchdown. Already halfway through the 3rd quarter here, and we're going to start this next drive with a sack. Defensive line has been affecting the quarterback much more than usual in this game, and I think that has been one of the key factors into Vanderbilt having this 2-score lead. Nice spin move to get free there and chase Sellers down. A run there on 2nd and 16 will gain some of the yardage back, but probably not nearly as much as they wanted. As now they've got a tough 3rd and 13 situation. Got to get this stop here. It's going downfield and it is picked off. Trying to find Nick Harbor again. This time Height was ready for it. Undercut the throw. And puts the offense in scoring range again. The 3rd interception of this game. I'm not sure who I'm more impressed with. The defense creating big plays at a pace that we just haven't seen them do before, or the offense for being a well-oiled machine for pretty much this entire game. RPO, quick pass over to Sherrill. Johnson back to pass again, finds Sherrill again, and he drags defenders into the end zone. What a nice effort play by Junior Sherrill for the hat trick. Third touchdown of the game. Vanderbilt is up by 21 points against an SEC opponent. We've finally had the game that I felt like we've had the potential to have all season long. Just dumb mistakes have kept us from doing it. We're not making those dumb mistakes this game. In fact, we're forcing them. 38-17. What an awesome performance, really, on both sides of the ball here for this team. Still have to close it out, though. We still got plenty of time here in the third. And if any of you have had a lot of exposure here to College Football 25, you know that this game will have some pretty wild comebacks. Under 2 minutes here, and a sack on the play. I mean, just an unblocked blitzer there going against a play action pass. Rarely works out for the offense. Prince Colley here had the interception early in the game that we returned for 7 yards. Now the sack. A major playmaker for Vanderbilt here in this game. Somebody who we haven't really seen much of at all so far. Going for the screen. A flag on the play. This might be roughing the passer. We might have hit him a little late, and I think it will be. A little overzealous trying to add to the sack total here. Give South Carolina some free yardage. The give for a first down and more. Run game continues to be something that South Carolina has found success in. RPO. It's for a first down and more to Brown, all the way down to the 10-yard line. I'll call it 1st and 10 rather than 1st and goal. They got to get it to the 1/10th yard line in order to pick up said first down, so got to treat this like 1st and goal. And it's fumbled on a big hit. Picked up by Vanderbilt, and another red zone turnover. The third of the game. 4th turnover forced overall by the defense. Trudell Berry is the one who laid the big hit. I thought it was Langston Patterson from our point of view. Vanderbilt would end up driving all the way down the field here to start the 4th, capping it off with a touchdown, which pretty much put this game to bed. What a game from Nate Johnson on the offense. What a game from the defense. Just a complete blowout of South Carolina in this game. Vanderbilt was clicking on all cylinders, really from the get-go. Took the defense, one drive to warm up. They allowed that opening drive touchdown, but 24-51 would be your total. We'd actually pick up a 4th interception as well at the end of this game. But you gotta think that's gonna impress our visit receiver, Raphael Hakeem. 327 pass yards and 5 total touchdowns for Johnson in this game. No turnovers as well. Awesome, awesome stuff to pick up our first conference victory. It was about time we saw a win. Needed one. I knew what we were getting ourselves into with this conference, but dang, needed a win. That massive win against South Carolina. Not only does it put us back up to 500 on the year, but I think it might have won us Raphael Hakeem here. You see LSU and Texas both very close. Let's see just how much that visit gave us. We saw that the visit from Awasika earlier on in the episode gave us 5 stars. Or 5 up arrows, whatever you want to call it. I wish they would just tell us numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I like to see the numbers. Instead, we're getting arrows in this game. But we got double that for blowing out South Carolina in week 11. A plus 10 arrow visit from Hakeem is going to be the difference. He's going to commit next week. This is week 12 now. We're in the bye week after the game. If we lose that game, I'm not sure if we get him. And so we redeem ourselves from last episode, losing out on Awasika at the last minute with an embarrassing week 9 loss. Blow out South Carolina and get ourselves a commit. I'm still going to put all 65 because I don't want to mess around with it here. That puts us in the first place in every single one of these, except for the guys that we're just adding now this week. But things are looking good. Still the lead for Duck, despite Missouri's attempts, and I think we're still making slightly more per week. We just got to make sure that he commits prior to week 14. I don't think that's going to be possible, though. It's the problem. We might lose Connor Duck, which would be very unfortunate. We do have Handrulehu, who I think will commit, so we have another option at linebacker. But what a game. And all the negativity around the team that we were just making too many mistakes, losing these games, getting blown out, all by the wayside now with a blowout win over South Carolina. We will not go winless in the conference. We're going to be at least 5-7 this year, which I think was probably my goal record for this team. We've already hit it. Things are looking up for our Vanderbilt Commodores here, and we'll be finishing off the season next episode. And if we win one of our final 2 games against LSU and Tennessee, which will not be easy by any means, but if we can do it, might even be bowl eligible this year, which would be really fun. But that's all I've got here for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with more Vanderbilt's college football dynasty, and I'll see you then. Anchor down.